Welcome back. Mike from Canavan Wealth, doing the next book in my series, which is Factfulness, which is about building a fact-based worldview. If I have told you before this that there is, you should read one specific book first, then I lied because I had not read Factfulness yet. This is undoubtedly the one book I think absolutely everyone should read. I gush about it to everyone I talk to these days. If I'm in a party, I break out the quiz at the beginning of this because it's about building a fact-based worldview. In terms of accessibility, it is easily available. It's printed back in 2017. You can get it on audiobook if you have a free Prime membership. However, there are lots of pictures and charts in the book, so I would not listen to this book. You really do want to read it. I'm sure you get it on Kindle or something. It would be perfectly fine. And then if you want more updated numbers or more information, you go to their gapminder.org website, which is a really great website for kind of getting more and more information about this. So, one of the big takeaways is how poorly educated the developed world is about the developing world, as most people commonly refer to that, although you'll find in the book it is not a very good description of the world. Specifically, the author and the co-authors, which is largely his family, have been giving this quiz about facts that are widely understood, well documented. These are not politically sensitive facts. They are things like child mortality rate, vaccination rate, number of years spent in education, things like that about the world. And it's amazing. The outcome of this quiz that he's been giving for years is that virtually everyone, no matter their level of education, income, what industry they work in, they do extremely poorly on the quiz. So poorly, in fact, that if they had guessed randomly, they would have done better. Which means not only are we wrong about our perceptions of the world, but we are actively being taught incorrect information. That's the only logical explanation to understand why we would do poorly, so bad on a quiz that we would have done better if we had just randomly guessed. Not only are we wrong, but we are learning the wrong thing. And then the second big takeaway is that things can be both bad and getting better at the same time. So there are plenty of things in the developing world that still need to be corrected. There are still people that live in extreme poverty, but it is in virtually every way undeniably getting better over any time frame. 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. The world is getting better in lots and lots of different ways. It will make you feel better when you read the book, but it is not designed to be a feel-good story. This is not a, chummy read that afterwards you can kind of feel better about the world and move on. He doesn't like the word optimistic. He prefers, a possibilist. And it is about correcting your worldview, because that negative worldview that is typically perceives that the world is worse than it actually is affects the world in all sorts of different ways, especially if you're like trying to decide where your business might invest and lots of other things. So excellent book. Everyone should read Factfulness. I am going to do a follow-on video about this, I think, really interesting question that he poses, which is, he says, if you have some view, you need to, and answer truthfully, ask yourself this question: what evidence would convince me to change my mind? Because if you, that deep conversation with your own psyche say, there's really nothing that would convince me to change my mind on this, then you probably do not have a fact-based view about whatever that issue is. So look for that video, because there's some points that I would like to make that kind of go along with that. Otherwise, Factfulness, absolutely fantastic. I hope this has been informative, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.